He's live. Hey,
We are
Shakira.
live, horse. We are live.
Oh, you wasn't ready, Ebony? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My bad, boo.
Let me put my live face on.
Oh, Lord, we cutting up already. I'm sorry, boo.
That's your live face, huh?
You know what?
See what my good side is.
That's what it look like when you go live. That's your live face.
Wait, let me squint my eyes a little bit. Hold on.
That's your live face, though.
Child, y'all know I ain't got good
in the room. Shakira in the room. Yes. Thank you, Shakira. She said I did good with the names on the last review. I'm trying, y'all.
I was proud of you. You need to be writing them down. Listen.
You said in my comments. They be like, you need to write these names down.
No, I got my trusty whiteboard here for you to write down the names for you to have. Okay? Dear God. Dear Lord.
Look, I figured out where I got Pearl from, though. I got Pearl from that poem. Remember the poem that Sky was...
I thought you got Pearl from 227. Here is the name of the main character. It is David or David. Okay? I will allow David or David. Okay?
What about DJ?
Okay, or Day. How about just Day? And we're going to call his mama. The mama is going to be Glow for short. Okay? Glow. Not Gloria. That's way too many syllables. Okay? Just Glow. Glow.
Look.
You're gonna be Glow.
You know what? This is what you want to know what the truth is? Here go the truth. The truth is, when I first started doing reviews, I would write all these notes, right? I would have pages of notes, and I would never fucking use them. So I stopped taking notes because I would have all these notes sitting here. I would get finished with my review and never look at my notes.
Not me. I need my notes. I can't do my reviews. Now, what I don't do is I don't script myself. I just put like bullet points. Now, if something comes in my mind, I will write it down so I can make sure I remember to say that.
I'm putting it up on the screen. She said get a neon marker for me because I need it to be bright.
You know what?
And accurate.
Wait, I think I got yellow. Hold that thought. I think I got yellow. Hold on.
He's going to get the yellow.
Oh Lord. Shakira, why you give him an idea? Why? I should have never said nothing.
Listen.
Told me that.
The shenanigans is going to flow. I feel it.
Right.
Shakira, girl, I got yellow and orange. So let's try this again. Let me write.
You're tired of yelling at me. So Shakira be yelling at me when I get it wrong in my my review. She said she
can't even see that, David. Is that right enough, David?
Properly.
Okay. I'll be yelling the right information at you during the video, like you can hear me.
I do, because when you were saying Pearl, I was like Tara.
Hey, Regina.
Tara. God. Hey, Regina, girl. Hey.
When you called that girl Omarosa though the last time, that thing took me.
Girl.
But I caught myself with that one. I caught Omarosa. I caught it.
I said, what's she getting Omarosa from Marissa? Dear Lord.
That's at least in the same family tree. Pearl and Tara ain't got nothing to do with each other.
Pearl. Come on, Pearl. She better be sitting outside the window looking at everybody in the neighborhood.
Oh,
Joyce Simmons says she loves you, Teddy. Teddy, you got some fans in this room.
Hey.
No, you got some fans in here, Teddy.
Because Teddy always blending his eyelashes and
I know, right?
I don't even know. Y'all know what the truth is? I'm like Oprah. I don't have a lot of body hair at all. So I don't have eyelashes. I mean, I have, little But if you look, I really don't have eyelashes. So if you ever see long eyelashes on me, I done did like Oprah and put some fake ones on. Because I don't really have long eyelashes like that.
If I take these lashes off, I'm a naked mole rat. I don't understand what the problem is.
Now, little baby, you right. I called Sam Landry. I called him Joe that whole episode. And I knew it felt wrong. It felt wrong. It felt wrong when I was saying it. But I kept calling, hey, Jada. But Jada, do you look at David Makes Man? Because we can bring you up here if you look at David Makes Man.
Right.
But I knew it felt wrong. Come on, give it to us, Ebony. Give it to us.
Come on in the room.
Yes. You look like an old church mama with that damn.
You have to put the ugly face. You know the church mothers always be mean mugging. Come on in my room. Yeah. Come on in my room. You know Jesus is my doctor. Yeah, he writes down all of my scripture. He gives me all of my medicine in my room. All I need is the organ. All I need is the organ to go. Doom. All I need.
Yes, all we need that first giving out of the God, Pastor.
Who's first in my life?
Come on,
Pastor. I just want y'all to know I had to press my way this morning. And I tell y'all, I had to press my way.
There is a blessing in the press. Come on,
there's a blessing in the press.
I thank God for waking me up and giving me use and activities of all of my limbs.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Woke you up clothed and in your right mind. Come on, then.
Amen.
Clothed and in my right mind. And I want y'all to know that I am saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Spirit, and a mighty burning fire.
Come on, then.
Hold up, y'all. Look, okay, true story. We about to go left, and then we're going to come back to the middle. True story. First of all, let me tell y'all something. Okay, so I was raised Catholic, right? I started going to apostolic church in college, right? So I was raised Catholic. So, you know, that's real blue, that's real white bread. You know what I'm saying? You come in, you get the word, you go home. 45 minutes. We in, we get communion, we out. Boom. The
homily. You don't even have praise and worship in 45 minutes.
Yeah. Come on. I know. Exactly. No, I know that. Trust me. I know that. So when so let me tell you what my least favorite part of going to an apostolic church is the daggone testimony. And I know people.
That's the best part. People tell all their business.
Exactly. That is why, because people. Let me tell you what. Hold on. Let me tell you what somebody testified to at my church one time, and I was sitting there looking at him like, "Did you really just?" This fool got up to testify, and he talked about how he was shopping for a winter coat, and he didn't have a whole lot of money for that winter coat, but he saw a coat that he liked, and it fit,
and he stole it.
Wait a minute here. He steal it. He switched the tag. Hold on. He switched the tags on it. So he switched the tag from a coat he could afford and put it on that coat. It took the tag off that coat.
Oh, no. I wouldn't have told nobody but God. Nuh-uh. Wrong answer.
But he was a mess. But hold on. In his mind, God blessed him because he didn't get caught. Now, on that one, I'm going to let y'all think on that one. Hold on. Y'all think on that one.
But that's not how it works. That's not. Just because you living in the time of grace right now, you got away with that.
That's not how it works.
Wait a minute.
Listen, I want to comment. I just turned on my laptop so I can see these comments now. Jaded. I see you talking about me and Cam got the same stylist. Can me and Cam have the same bedroom and the same bed as well too? Because I'm here for all parts of Cam Newton. I am here for all parts of Cam Newton.
Why? Who told him that?
Now that hair got to go.
His head like babushka. That's what I want to know. Who told him that scarf was cute?
Exactly, little baby. Exactly. Okay, y'all. So we can get on target, but let's go through some of these comments while we were having our praise and worship.
Hallelujah.
First of all, I want to give a shout out, giving all honor, giving a shout out. I want to acknowledge Shakira in the room because Shakira is giving it to all of us. Shakira done already read me about getting the names wrong, and now she done told El Teddy, I listened to y'all in the car while I'm driving with my daughter, but I quickly discovered I can't do that with Teddy last night. Praise him. Amen. And
yes. He go by Shondo. Come on.
We already saw that Jaded Nerd gave it to El Teddy early on. Regina Hawkins is calling me out because she said I went to the salon. Yes, ma'am, I did. Got my color retouched. Yes, ma'am. Got the blonde. Oh, I don't have my light on. Let me turn my light on. Volvo gave us a what won't he do it? He gave us a good won't he do it. Won't he will?
Will he won't? Come on.
Jada Nerd said that he think Cam Newton is transitioning.
Oh God.
Come on, transition. I mean, transition lenses, maybe.
What though is the question?
Transition lenses. I mean, you got too much muscles for that. Too much muscles.
He ain't got too many muscles. Well, thank you, Jaded. Now, Jaded, okay, we got a compliment. Jaded said that we look good on this panel tonight. Thank you, Jaded. So I want to, okay, so.
Well, I do the best I can.
Yes, Bobo, I got the fresh silk press, boo.
First of all, this good 10-minute beat that I put on between.
Come on for the beat down of the mug. Beat the mug.
Let me tell you how Ebony always comes ready, though. Ebony is always, okay? She is, like last night, number 3 on El Teddy's list of what you can't do on YouTube. He said that some people are just not YouTube ready for the camera. And some people just ain't pretty enough. Is that how you do? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but they just not YouTube ready. But let me tell you that Ebony is always YouTube ready, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ain't got to get ready if you stay ready.
Well.
Let them know.
And Shakira once again is giving it to us. She said, "Leave Cam alone."
Listen, I'm gonna leave Cam in my bed, but he won't be alone. I can promise you that, Shakira. Now I will get in these streets and windmill for me some Cam. Okay.
Okay, we will
windmill.
Okay, all right.
Is that the first hashtag of the night? Windmill for Cam. Okay.
Windmill for Cam.
So I want to thank everybody for coming through, y'all. Y'all know how we do. We have somebody said they enjoyed our panel, but we have a tendency to get off track, and we do. But we have fun with it.
You mad because we off track? I bet you won't fight us about it. You mad? You watch.
Can you not come for my people? Can you not come for my people?
You watch.
I ain't got no earrings on.
Whoa. Okay, Abby said she ain't got no earrings on. But I do want to start doing this, you guys, on a more regular basis. I was telling El Teddy about it, and I was talking to Mother about it, that everybody else doing panels, so I want to do a panel too. But my panel is gonna be, I would do like this, a show that we review and bring in different reviewers, like I did with Lynette from Random TV Reviews, and I have with you guys. I have a special guest doing a review with me next week. I'll let y'all know. Yes, honey, got a special guest coming to do a panel with me, honey, and that's going to be fun. But so this is something I can't commit to a specific day, time, show, but it's just going to be when I can get everybody together and we can talk about this show. So tonight, the show that we will be discussing is David Makes Man. Now, I got a lot of great feedback on the David Makes Man conversation that we had on last week. And so I enjoyed it, and I hit my folks up and I said, you guys, let me know when y'all ready to do it again. And they were like, whenever you ready, I'm ready. I said, well, I'll be home in 15 minutes. What you trying to do? And they were like, all right, well, what you trying to do? And Ebony said, all right, let me just put my face on it and I'll be ready. So El Teddy said, let me find a hat, and I'm there. So I want to thank y'all for on this Friday night joining me so we can have this good conversation. And we're going to talk about David Makes Man. Now, this episode, if y'all looked at my review, this was one of my love-hate episodes because I thought it was a, well, let me tell you why. I thought it was a great episode. I thought it was a great episode. What I didn't like about it is it gave me some very good time tease, because every time I thought something good was getting ready to happen, it was something bad. And I was like, damn, we can't get ahead. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I meant by it was giving me some real, like, shout out to Jada Nerd. We had a whole conversation in his live about 2 weeks ago about the mama on Good Times, and was she the reason why they never got out together? Now I don't know who was the reason, but this episode, it just gave me very good time tease. So overall, how did the panel feel about the episode?
I'm gonna start off by talking about my first takeaway from the episode.
Mm-hmm.
My first question after the episode that I'm really curious about, and I talked about it on my review, but I just talked about it real brief, but it's still lingering. And I like what the writers have done here. I'm curious about the relationship between JG and Starry. I'm very curious about that relationship because it's unassuming. You would not think that JG, who's already a whole ass thug in elementary school, would be hanging out with Starry. Okay. Also, remember, JG is always ultra comfortable and just gravitates toward Miss Elijah as well. If you have been paying attention. So
this is the second time they showed us with JG and Starry having an interaction like that. So yeah, you're right.
You see, they were hanging out when he went to go drop off the money, and then at the end of the episode, when the mom was having the conversation with the lady asking her, and the lady gave her the extra 2 weeks, and he was like, "I did all that work for nothing." Da 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 da. He was sitting on the steps with Starry, and I was like, I want to see where they go with, I want to see this budding relationship, friendship between JG and Starry. So that was one of my takeaways, but I love the episode.
Abby?
Okay, I love the episode as well. Only had one small nitpick. Who gave David's mama lessons on how to clap on somebody when you arguing? Because that is definitely not how you clap. Her clap was a good old. Like I said, that's not how you do it. What's
the clap is.
Where are you, David? Now, let's just go ahead and jump in on that then. So I saw a comment in your review, El Teddy. One of the people commented on your review and said that they thought that was not a real argument, that they thought that was one of David's
yes,
and that the argument never really happened. It was in his head, and then when JG showed up with the drugs, that sort of took him out of his mind. Now I thought that was interesting, but usually they let us know when David's daydreaming, but that would have been interesting if that had not been a real argument. Now I don't know, what do you think?
They be getting it in my comment section on David Makes Mad. They be in that listen. You know how I say we getting that aga. But when that commenter threw that out there, I said, because he even had like what made him think that, because he was saying how you got to go in and read the comments, but it really made me think, because if that wasn't a real conversation, and if that was just what the writers normally do, where they kind of give you what they want to say, but it's not really what it wants to say. Because if you think about it, remember, David went through like a whole cataclysm of emotions all in about 45 seconds. He was angry, then he was crying, then he was calm, then he was deflecting. So it kind of makes sense, but it would really make it. It would make sense. I would say that. I could say it would make sense, but it changes the whole narrative of how you think about that whole scene, because to me, that was the most powerful scene in the entire episode. Like that scene right there was the scene where you were like, oh, ooh, because when he started tearing up, and about to cry. I was about to be like, oh God, no, please don't start crying. Please don't start crying. And I must go just real quick. Allow me 15 seconds. I've always been like this from a little boy. Whenever I see, and David is not a grown man by any stretch of the imagination, but if I ever see a grown man cry, it bothers me. It touches my soul. Women can cry all day, and I don't get bothered because I feel like ladies cry all the time. But when a grown man is weeping and crying, I'll be like, wait a minute, what just happened? What do we need to change in the world? How do we need to stop the earth from rotating on its axis to keep this man from crying again? Because growing up, I never saw my grandfather cry, and except for like 3 times. And so I always felt like if a grown man is crying, something's really wrong. But that's just me. I don't know. I look at the world just the wrong way. I don't know.
Abby?
Well, no, you don't look at the world the wrong way, El Teddy. It's just sad that we have been brought up to think that men should not show emotions. Right. And if they do show emotions, then okay, everybody stops. The whole world stops because this man is showing emotion when he's a human being just like anybody else. And if you cut him, he bleeds. And if you hurt him, he should cry. That's just what it is. But as young men from babies, you're taught that you are a man and you shouldn't show emotion. So no, I understand that a lot because I feel the same way when I'm at church and I see men go into a full praise. There's something about seeing a grown man bow to the power of God that takes me to a whole nother level.
I know that's
because you don't get to see that
very
often because they always have to put on the facade. Now, about this fight with David and his mama, it was so awkward for me. It was really awkward because you could see them being careful not to go too far with each other. Because I'm absolutely sure each one of them could have said just one more thing that would have torn them asunder to possibly where they couldn't fix it.
Come on, asunder.
And so they were very careful, even in their anger with each other. They were very careful in how they spoke to each other. And you saw them get ready to say something and stop themselves.
Right.
Because they didn't want to push it there. Because they still trying to put a happy face on everything.
Right. And I also think that in the mom's sobriety, and I'm reading into this, but in the mom's sobriety, I think that they are trying to go back to assuming the normal roles because it is clear that when mama was out there doing her thing, David was daddy. And now it's like, I have to let her be mommy because she's acting like mommy now. And that's why the first thing out of her mouth was, well, not first thing, but at the end of that argument, it was, I'm going to go to a meeting tomorrow. Because she knew that he was 2 seconds from those roles going right back to where they were. Because I'm sure that when she was in the throes of her addiction, David was taking care of both of them. You know?
I want to say this too. And as much of an addiction or whatever David's mother Glow went through, it is very, very evident in David and even in JG that she was very involved. She was a great mother. Say what you want.
Yeah.
They are respectful. They don't go there with the mama. The mama, she might have, had whatever going on. She might not have been there during certain times or whatever, but whatever she did in her child rearing stages, she did a great job at it because neither one of them are disrespectful to her. If she asked them to do something, and the first time that you really could see it was my first time really saying, okay, yeah, she didn't play around. When she grabbed that book bag, because most kids, even kids who was raised like, if you grab their book bag, especially kids in Miami, if you grab their book bag, that's like you grabbing a piece of their body, okay? You'll grab their book bag and go in it. They'll be like, wait a minute, what you going to my book bag? He ain't even flinch, he ain't cringe, he ain't say nothing to the mom, he ain't even question it. He let her go. And even the good kids, they might try to say, Mom, what you doing? No, and mom might snap back, oh, well, you gonna let me. She didn't even have to do that. He just let her go on. And so every time there is this bumping of the heads, he always remains respectful and he never crosses that line because you can tell there was some good child rearing with David.
I feel like her addiction was not an extended addiction. And especially now that we know her addiction was pills and not crack or heroin. And I mean, that's, addiction is addiction, but there are different levels with different types of addiction. And I feel like her addiction, either A, she was a functioning addict for a very long time and then sort of spiraled, or B, she wasn't an addict that long. Because I agree with you, El Teddy. I agree that she probably has been a good mother longer than she was a bad mother. I kind of get that vibe too. What you think, Eb?
I agree with you. My question to you really is that now that we've had maybe some insight to maybe she hasn't been in addiction that long, do you still think Sky's the daddy and she was a crack whore selling her punani? That I'm just saying, because them two things.
You did say she was a crack whore selling the cooch. Come on, crack whore selling the cooch. Sell that cooch.
Somebody came to me in the comments about calling her a crack hoe.
Listen.
Okay, I'm gonna take back
she
half
was a crack
of
whore
it.
Selling the cooch.
I'm gonna take back half of it. And I'm gonna take back. I don't think she was a crack hoe, but I still think Sky's daddy. I do. Until they show me different. In my mind, that's his daddy. That's his daddy. Anyway, okay.
Well, can we just wait?
Okay.
Speaking of daddies and children's, let's rewind to the beginning of this episode.
That's where I was getting ready to go. That's exactly
where Ray live in the fucking suburbs, and why would you? Does he
wearing button-up polo?
His mama now living in the Ville? I don't understand. Is he still driving to the Ville from his mama house in the suburbs? What the hell is going on?
Well, that's actually where I was getting ready to start. I was getting ready to go back to the beginning. And we got a chance to see the dreadlock Kool-Aid boy before he had the dreadlock Kool-Aid braid. And
I mentioned that in my review. And I gave you a shout out. Because he had a Kool-Aid.
Right. Before all the tattoos and he was popping his gold fronts in on his way to the hood. But you know what? Haven't we all known that kid? We have all known that kid who drives from the suburbs to the hood to be hood. Because at the end of the day, he can go back. Now, that's a good question, though, Ebony. Does he live in that apartment up there with Shinobi, or does he just drive in every day? And I feel like he drives in every day because that's where they showed us. They showed us he's got his car back. It ain't all the way fixed, but it's off, it's off the blocks. It's got wheels and the door's still messed up. He hasn't gotten it painted and everything yet, but he's getting the car fixed. And we saw him driving up to, the Ville or wherever they are. And I feel like he's still driving to the hood. Well, not Travis Scott. Okay, Volvo. But yeah, so I feel like that was, because I'm gonna be honest, I thought that this whole episode was going to be his episode. The way they started,
I wanted it to be his episode,
right? To find out how he really feels. But they only gave us that little snippet at the beginning. But it was a very interesting snippet, because what that says to me is that Scott took care of him and his mama. They were living that good life out in the suburbs, but he wanted his father's acceptance, and he felt like that's what he had to do. But what his father was trying to get him to understand, that's why his father kept saying, you got to make a choice, but you can't fake the fun. You can't fake it, because people are going to know that you faking it. And he never got it. He never understood what Scott was trying to say to him. Because what Scott was trying to say to him was, I have to do this. You don't. I'm doing this so you don't have to do it, yet you insist on doing this. But I'm going to start with Abby this time. What you think, Ab?
The fact that he is continuing to make this choice, Like, I don't understand. What does his mama think he doing all day? That's my question. Well, how your son leave the house all day and you say, find a job? And then he's like, okay, mama. And he walk out the door and it's been months. He still ain't got their job. Where her light bulb at? We ain't spend enough time with her. Something else is going on. I don't know.
Mothers see what they want to see. Mothers see what they want to see. What you think?
No. As a mother of 4, no. First of all, my son was that age. He couldn't walk across the street and I didn't know where he was going. That's not how.
No. What I mean by that is because I have had friends who sold drugs and they were like, yeah, they just didn't ask no questions. They just didn't question it. I'm sure they knew I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing, but they didn't question it. So that's what I mean by parents see what they want to see. Okay, Joyce is with you, Abby. Joyce said, no. But remember, in that opening sequence was when he was younger. And so he was supposed to be going to school. We saw what he did. He went in the parking lot, sold his drugs, and left the parking lot. But fast forward to now, I don't know what his mama think now. What you think, Teddy?
I think that we got it wrong. Okay. I don't think that he was actually in school at the time. I think he was a recent graduate, maybe just graduated high school. And so, when you're a recent graduate, you didn't go away to school like everybody else, but you still know a lot of the underclassmen. You can do that and you can go to the school right up in the parking lot. You see this little girl you used to flirt with or whatever, who might be a senior or still at the school or whatever. And you could go serve and so forth. That's why I felt like if he was still supposed to be in school, his mama wouldn't have said anything about him having a job because the mama been like, make sure you bring your behind home. Sky never mentioned him being in school either. Sky would have been like, why you not in school?
No, that's valid. I agree.
I feel like
so he's high school just coming back to visit.
Yeah, and that happens a lot. You just graduated. You ain't go off to college, so you really still kind of like trying to hang out because you still got some friends that was maybe a grade under you or a 2 under you, and you still want to go. You ain't got nothing else going on. You ain't going away to school, so you got to make something out your day. So you still going to see what they got going on. He sell his little drugs or whatever, and then he out there trying to play the thug.
And I'm gonna tell you. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were my bad. Go ahead.
I think that what a difference a couple years make, because when when Ray, we fast forward to the present, and even when we think about what we thought about Ray leading up to this, we didn't think that Ray grew up, in the suburbs. So Ray had assimilated himself to, thug life. What y'all laughing for? You know what? Turn y'all around.
What? Teddy, where did you go?
Teddy, are you giving us your ass to kiss? What is happening?
What's going on? Teddy. What is going on?
What happened?
I'm laughing at Vovo the Love talking about some R. Kelly hanging out at the high school. That's what I'm laughing at. Talking about he was taking his gap year. That's what I'm
see you gonna put over here this shot that I'm long with it. I ain't even go half the time Ebony with on this doggone part. And y'all gonna talk about me. I ain't seeing y'all. I don't see it for y'all. Y'all coming for my throat, and I ain't even go half the time. You know what? I'm not here for y'all. Y'all going back to there.
Take a sip.
Go back.
Lubricate your throat. Come back, El Daddy. Come back. We love you.
You up to say. We love you, boo. We love you.
Take a sip. Lubricate your throat. You be all right.
But Shakira brought up a good question, and that was actually going to be my question. I found it interesting. Now, y'all tell me what you think. I feel like Dreadlock Ray. Isn't that his name, Ray? I feel like Ray wasn't getting his drugs from Sky because remember when the boy wanted some he wanted some Molly and some Percocet, and Ray was like, oh yeah, I could get you that next week. I feel like he wasn't selling drugs with Sky's permission.
He was selling it. He was getting it from the uncle.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so you agree that he wasn't really that he wasn't going to Sky.
Because I don't think Sky would have allowed that. I really don't.
Yeah, I really think Sky wanted to
dibble and dabble and be in the neighborhood, but I do not believe he was supplying him so he could sell in the neighborhood. And I think when Sky died is when Ray stepped up and became who he is in the neighborhood now.
I also want to say that our timeline might be off. And let me tell you why I don't think it was as far back as we think. Because the mom has that raggedy old school phone because that's all she can afford. But I don't think that it's as far back as we go because JG talked about having bronze. He said he didn't say Jordans. He said he sold his bronze to Ray.
But wait,
but shoes for 15 years.
Wait.
Bronze ain't been making shoes that he could have sold that much money for that many years.
Hold on. I'm having a Back to the Future moment. Wait a minute. So how long have Bronze been out? Because who has a Nokia phone, even if that is all they can afford?
And remember in that first episode, Marissa, remember when she was in the tree? Marissa had a flip phone. So it's not just his mama that got the old phone. Mama Marissa had a flip phone.
Even Obama phones aren't Nokias. So
she said,
that's a continuity issue.
I mean, granted, my daddy had a flip phone until last year when my mama washed it by accident, and then he had to get a new phone. And when he went to the store to get, he went there. He told me he wanted another flip phone, and they said, "Sir, no, sir, we don't."
First of all,
I'm gonna say it was 10 years ago. I'm gonna say the setting is. I'm gonna say it was 10 years ago. I'm gonna say 2009.
Yeah, it's definitely. I could give you that. I'll give you 10 years, but I'll give you 10 years. I'll give you 10 years.
I don't know. I don't know. It's not. It's I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
I think
I don't know. Is the music supposed to be an indicator of the time as well? Is that why he was singing New Edition? And that's somebody from now? He's not singing Chris Brown or nothing?
Right. And then that opening sequence, that song that Ray was listening to when he was in the shower, that's an older song too. That's not a new song. Bronze had been since about 10 years ago. And remember, that Shakira brought up a good point. Remember, Ray gave him more money than the shoes were worth because he knew he was trying to pay the rent. Remember, he said that. He said, I gave your brother the money to pay the rent. So he gave him more money than the shoes were worth because he knew why JG was selling the shoes. So he purposely did that.
Okay, so did anybody question who is opening and closing this office that they don't put this money in this Dropbox for?
Okay, so let's talk about that. That was my first good times moment. I knew the minute that boy put that money in that envelope, that money was coming up missing. Now I don't know. Now I hope it wasn't Star that took it. I hope it wasn't Star.
I think it was the mean old rent lady. She got that money. She got that money and put it in her pocket.
I wouldn't be surprised if she got the money. I wouldn't be surprised. But I knew when he put that. I knew when he put that
old lady was running the office. She just the super. Maybe there are actual rental office people, and they said the office is always closed.
But my question is, how do you have a Dropbox in a rent office without having a lock on it? Even in the ghetto in the hood.
Dropbox on the inside of the building. Then
and most rent offices they're not gonna have an external drop box. They might have the little slide in the door. You know what I'm saying?
Like
where you can, you can put it through the door, and then it's gonna be inside. So when they unlock the door and go in and open, they can, pick it up or whatever. I don't buy it. That was bad writing.
Okay, so Shakira gave us our Shakira is our fact checker for the night. He has
LeBron was drafted in 03.
But remember, hold up, wait a minute, El Teddy. Remember, LeBron had a Nike contract before he was even drafted.
I understand that, but people did not start wearing bronze when he first got drafted. They weren't wearing bronze like that.
But we've already established the fact that Ray gave the boy more money than the shoes were worth. We already established that because he's trying to pay the rent. I think we're spending too much time.
Today, but even if it was 5 years ago.
Not Pearl took that.
I don't know.
Bobo said Pearl took that money for some Newports.
I'm done.
Not for situation.
Not for. She got some Newports and some Mad Dog 2020.
Okay, here's my question. Because I'm not just going to let Really Be ask all the questions. Here's my question to you all, and I'll answer after y'all done.
Joyce agrees with you about the bronze. She agrees with you.
My question is, what do y'all think is up with Sarin? And it's more than just the stepdaddy.
I don't know. Oh, it's some noise. I don't know. Somebody got some noise in there. Okay, y'all don't hear that?
I hear it,
but I don't know what it is.
It's like a popping noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear it's like a staticky popping. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Okay, y'all. All right, well, we're gonna keep it moving because I can't. Anyway, I don't know what it is, so we'll keep it moving. I don't know, but I didn't even try to, in my review, I didn't even really think too much on it because I don't know. Like they purposely left it open. I'm hoping it's something they'll bring back to us later because I can't. You're right. It's more than what we already know. What is that noise? I feel like the gentleman's panel now. Like, what is that noise?
I just tried to mute myself to make sure it wasn't me. So I had myself on mute just to make sure that it wasn't my camera.
Put myself on mute. Hold on.
Okay, Ebony, we think it's you. It's gone.
It's you, Ebony. Ebony, get your life in order. That's you, Ebony.
Damn.
Okay.
Must be that Nokia phone you got over there.
Girl, you over there with that Nokia. No, that's that Nokia.
Nokia. Oh, did y'all see Kaya's phone got cut off on her live the other night?
Listen. The number you have reached is no longer.
You trying to take callers? The lady said, "Not tonight, ma'am. No, you won't. Not tonight. You won't be taking call-ins.
Not on tonight.
Not tonight." Okay, I'm sorry. That was a sidebar. No. Okay, what
was the question again, anyway?
I don't even know.
The question was, what do y'all think is going on with
Sarin?
Sarin.
Okay, so we know he's being touched on by his daddy and his mama's beating the piss out of him.
That's pretty much it.
I don't know.
Do you think it has something to do with the church?
I don't think. Right.
Because remember, they built up.
I'm going to let y'all answer, and I'm going to give my answer. I'm going to start off with Really Be. Oh, I'm sorry. Go, Abby.
Oh, Abby, they said you like Abby. Shakira, you are giving it to us tonight. She said you like Deshaun.
What I do?
She said you like Deshaun from the gen.
What the fuck does that mean? Who was Deshaun?
On the Gentleman's
Deshaun Fairley on the Gentleman's Family. He always having technical difficulties.
Well, at least I stay in frame though, because he disappeared from camp. It just
Deshaun just be. All right, we're not doing that. Yeah, you're right. Deshaun just be gone. I'm like, where'd Deshaun go? Where did he go?
I'm not doing this with y'all.
1 minute, it disappeared out the frame.
I'm not doing this with y'all today.
Okay, so back to Sarin and his issues. I don't know what Sarin knows, what if he knows what he wants to do or what's going on or how to get out of his situation, because he froze during the talk with the recruiter and David had to bail him out in the midst of his conversation. Like he's so terrified that, you know how some people, when they're supposed to have a fight or a flight reaction, and his reaction is to freeze, and he froze, and he's frozen in his life because he has no power. He has no control over anything that is happening in his life.
You don't need to be going to the damn counselor.
That's what I'm saying. I need David to tell Dr. Bree, you might want to bring Sarin.
So
somebody need to say something.
So what do you think, El Teddy, since you said you want to, you said.
No, this is my question. So I'm going to ask you what you think. This is my question. I'm going last.
Oh.
I said I didn't know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, honestly, I don't have a clue. I mean, I know, at least I don't think it's the obvious. We already know about the home stuff, so I don't think it's the obvious.
Here's my thought.
Don't know.
Here's my thought.
Okay.
I think the situation with
real quick, Dami, we got some fact checkers in the room.
Fact checking.
Yeah, come on, Shakira and Dami, we got fact checkers in the room. Dami said that on the website it says that the show is set in the 90s, so maybe they don't get everything right, but we know that that's when the show is supposed to be set, is in the 90s.
So that's now, bad writing. They messed that up.
Vovo to Love, I need some clarification. Real quick before I give Teddy the floor back, you said you got people from out of town. Does that mean you have people looking at us and laughing at us from out of town? Or
Come on for a good kiki and
I don't have no problem with them looking and laughing. Just make sure they subscribe to all three. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
And
now go ahead
and
you have the floor.
Thank you for coming. Maybe now. Super chat. Thanks.
I feel like the whole situation with the recruiter, that was just Sarin being Sarin. I think that's separate from what Sarin got going on with David. Because if you remember from when Sarin presented his project, Sarin always starts off apprehensive, self-conscious, always. But once he kind of gets in the groove and gets in the pocket, he hits his stride and he goes. And I think what happened was David tried to take the floor from Sarin and he cut off and didn't let Sarin, kind of get in the groove, because David wanted to have the whole comment on himself. And bookmark this, because this is our next topic. The fact that ReallyB and I differ on how David's what he gave the recruiter. ReallyB didn't like it. I did like it. We'll get there after I give my commentary. But I think what's going on with Sarin is this. Sarin likes David. Sarin sees that Marissa likes David too. And I think Sarin is bothered twofold. Sarin is bothered that either one, David seems to be into Tara, or David is into Marissa. And Sarin has always been made to feel because David only knows Marissa, or is close to Marissa, because of Sarin. And Sarin and David have been close. And if Sarin likes David, Sarin has loved being that best friend role, because it allows him to be close to David, because it allows him to interact with David in a way that nobody else at that school can interact with David like. So that gives him that sense of, oh, that's all mine. But I think that Sarin is kind of upset about David's interaction with Marissa, because if you notice this episode, David has much more interactions with Marissa than he does with Sarin.
Sarin was sort of most of the episode.
And so then, remember when David started mentioning the church? And Sarin, you saw Sarin kind of like, he brightened up. He kind of like, okay, wanted to get into it. And Sarin kind of brightened up when David checked Marissa and was like, it ain't about you. Like Marissa tried to check him in the hallway, and David came back, it ain't about you. It's Men's Day. You ain't going. And so I want to see next episode. If you looked at the previews, next episode is going to be a lot of interaction between David and Sarin, and I think a lot of that may come to light. But that's my thinking of why he was so kind of out of sorts and in his feelings, because he doesn't like that he's having to divide his time with David with other people.
Okay, I want to acknowledge a couple of things. Ebony, when I'm muting you, is not when I mute El Teddy. It's because of that sound that I'm just.
I figured as much.
Okay, I just wanted because I mute El Teddy for different reasons. I want to. I want to acknowledge. I want to acknowledge Escapee, because he brought up a point that I brought up last week. The comment I put it up here said, "Did anybody else see how close Ray got to David when they had that argument?" I remember last week when I said that Ray seemed to get a little upset when he saw David was feeling terror, and I thought it was maybe something to that. And I'm not speaking for Escapee, but I kind of feel like maybe a little something. And once again, Escapee is also saying that in the description for next week's episode, it says that there are some unlikely relationships are shown. So I think that everybody in the chat seems to agree with you, El Teddy, with your summation on kind of what's going on with Sarin. And I don't disagree. I just don't know. I had no idea what's going on with Sarin. But I do think that we have Marissa. I think all three of them are dealing with complex issues of, well, I think Marissa's isn't that complex. She like David. But I think that David and Sarin are dealing with some complex issues of who they like and who they don't like and all that good stuff. I agree with that. I agree. Okay, well, let's go ahead and just talk about what you said, Teddy. You are right. Vovo said everybody wants some of that, don't they though?
I said that from episode 1 and 2. Everybody wants some parts of Dave. I've been saying that since the first episode.
Exactly. Now you're right. I disagree with, and Ebony, I'll start with you on this because I know Teddy got a lot to say. So
can we mute Ebony and all her little sounds that she's making? Dear God.
I don't know what's going on with Ebony's phone, but okay. So the point, because what I said was that whole exchange what David did with the recruiter and everything, I was cool with the first half of what he did, but I feel like he went too far. If I'm the recruiter, I'm not impressed. If I'm the recruiter, I wasn't impressed with what David said. And I kind of feel where Dr. Wolf Trap was, isn't that her name, Wolf Trap? Y'all know I make up names for people.
Woods Trap. Just say Dr. WT. Okay, just go with WT. Woods Trap is the lady name. I'm going to correct you like David had to correct the principal. Woods Trap. Okay? Get that. Put some respect on Felicia Rashad, or as she would say, Felicia, because she does not say Felicia. She says Felicia Rashad.
Well, you know where I get Wolf Trap from. If you are from the DC area, everybody in the DC area know where I get Wolf Trap from. It's an amphitheater here where they have concerts and stuff like that. That's where I got Wolf Trap from. Anyway, moving forward. I felt like when she, because Felicia Rashad's look in the beginning was she was giving him props, like, okay, David, but the more he talked, her face sort of fell and she sort of gave him the, okay, you went too far look. And that's how I felt. You felt differently. Ebony, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't see your review yet. What was your response?
I haven't put it up yet.
Well, see, that's why I ain't seen it. What was your response? Glad I ain't lie. Look, I'm glad I ain't trying to lie and say, girl, Ebony, your review was so good. You know what I'm saying? But I see that's because if I see it come up in my because I'm subscribed and everything. So when I see it, I click on it. So that must be why. But tell me your opinion on that scene. What was your response on how you felt about that scene?
I liked it at first, and then I was like, "Oh yes, David, you better play this white woman like a fiddle," because she was eating it up with a spoon. And I am very much of the diamond school of life. You got to do what you got to do to get what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Make that money. Don't let that money make you. So okay. I was okay with him using whatever you need to do in order to get you to, well, not whatever, but within reason, whatever you got to do to get you to the next level, as long as you aren't dimming anyone else's light to make yourself shine, then do that. But I could see Dr. Woodtrap like, you gonna play? Okay, I see you, and you see me see you, so we see each other.
Right.
Okay. I got you. I got that. And you could physically see the disappointment in David.
Mm-hmm. And that's how I felt.
As he started, but I'm saying he's trying to use whatever tools that he has available to him at this juncture to get ahead in this life. And I can't fault him for that.
Okay.
At all.
Yeah, I hear you. El Teddy.
I feel like
you can mute me now.
I'm not saying that you were wrong, really, BTV, but you got to remember we Black, and we don't like when we do stuff like that, which is why Dr. Woodtrap was looking at him like that. But white people love that shit. And I think David played that white woman like a fiddle. He knew white people love, this is a poor, destitute Black boy. And us, as in our caucasity of who we are going to save him and bring him up out of the depths of the ghetto. And he played it. And I'm going to tell you, the one word that he used, that even if he was going down that road, what brought it back home and put it all together with a button written on the top, the one word he used, and he said it at the end, was excellence. He said, this is a testament to the fact that of the excellence that I have to possess in order to be able to overcome in spite of all of that. And David knows that he has this magnetism about it. Think about the end of that whole soliloquy that he gave to the lady. What did he do? He put on the charm. He smiled real big for him with them pearly whites. He batted his eyes a little bit. He batted his eyes a little bit, and he put on the little schoolboy charm. He was like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't mad at him. I was like, now you did that, David. I'm not saying that it was right, but it was great in how he was able to manipulate the situation and use command of language. He understood his situation. He knew this rich white woman want to look out for Black people. That's why I'm saying, it was great. Because at the end, what did he do? You saw David smiled more at the end of that part right there than he done smiled the entire season.
He showed all them teeth. He showed all them teeth.
When I tell you, David was like, I was like, ooh, girl.
Yeah, he showed all them pearly whites. Okay.
Trying to tell you.
Yes, okay. Code switching at its finest.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. And that goes back to what we were saying last week about those David's two worlds. He's learning about code switching at a very early age because he's maneuvering it now. He's doing it right now. Because he was using his customer service voice like a motherfucker last week. During that moment. So, okay. How we feel about this principal? I wanted to jump through the TV and strangle that woman. I wanted to strangle that woman.
I told you she won't shit last week.
I didn't disagree. I didn't disagree because it was almost like she was gonna make something be wrong in David's house.
Right? Are you sure you ate? Yes, bitch. I like the food out my mouth. What you mean?
Exactly. Like I think I know if I had breakfast or not. What is wrong with you, woman? What do y'all think her angle is? Because I think she's trying to get rid of David. I think she's trying to send David back to the neighborhood school because she don't want to deal with him. I don't know what it is about David that she don't want to deal with. There's something about him that I think she don't want to deal with. What y'all think?
I think she got Captain Save a hoe and she done got the wrong hoe.
Oh, okay. El Teddy?
I think she's one of those black people that don't see it for other black people.
I'm
just gonna be honest. She
Mm-hmm.
want to be up at this magnet school and not have to deal with you Negroes, you niggers. And she want to be over here and deal with all. And definitely, if she does have to deal with you black people, you better be from a good neighborhood. You better be from the right zip code. You better be coming from a household that makes a certain amount of money.
Because remember, we said from the very beginning, the way she handled David in that very first episode was weird to me because I'm thinking, again, anybody who's been in education for you don't even have to be in education for more than 3 or 4 years. You can be in education for 1-2 years, depending on where you work. Now, I will put that caveat, but you know the challenges that our kids face on a day-to-day basis. Even in the best neighborhoods, the challenges are different, but the challenges exist. And for her to act like it was so far out of the realm for David's mom, for the phone to be cut off, and David was like, yeah, the phone got cut off as soon as the power got cut back on. Like, I just don't understand why you act like that was the worst. I mean, again, as somebody in education, I'm not saying that makes it okay, but the reality is the shit just happens. It just is what it is. And it just, I don't know what her, and it might be just that basic. Like you just said, I'll tell you that she just one of them folk that just don't see it for our kids like that and just think that certain kids should be in certain places. But I really think that she is trying to get enough paperwork to send David back to his neighborhood school. That's just how I feel. And I don't know, but I don't know why. I don't know what it is about him that I don't know. I don't know. But I know I want to jump through the phone and strangle her ass.
First of all, she's not black. She's Latina. Let's start there.
That's true. She's not black. Right.
I think she is making an assumption on who she thinks David is. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I know what that is, and he doesn't belong here. So I'm going to do what I can to get rid of him.
Not Cory Booker.
Who said Cory Booker? I missed it.
No, I disagree. I'm not in the chat. Yeah, I think the principle is she has made a huge assumption, and then the conversation that she had with him in the beginning validated what she thought, her first thoughts. So now everything has this filter on it for her that her first thought about who David is and what he is correct, because she saw him after he got into an altercation, and then he talked about the phone being off, and then the lights were off, and then they got turned back on. And so now she has this preconceived notion, and anything that happens, she is twisting it to the preconceived view of David that she has, and she doesn't want him in her school, and she's going to do what she can to get rid of him. Point blank, period, the end. That's just what she doesn't want, that black spot on her record.
I think the part that bothered me most about that conversation was not the part about asking him about food. The part that bothered me was when she said, "Oh, well, your mom did call, and I'll make a decision as if whether or not you can go see the counselor again." And in education, that's not how that works out. I don't care if a child is lying or not. If a child say, I need to go see my counselor or somebody again, Guess what's gonna happen? Unless it's in the middle of my goddamn class and you got my work to do and you trying to go see your counselor to get out of doing my work, that's a different story. But if I don't took time out of my schedule to come to the principal's office before school, after school, whatever, between classes, and tell you that I need to go see the counselor, I don't care what's happening. This ain't about you saying, well, I'm gonna decide if it's important enough or if you need to go.
To begin with, that was your idea. From the word go, it was your idea to send that boy to the counselor. Now you're saying, I don't think you need, but see, that's because the counselor didn't respond the way she wanted him to respond. Remember when she tried to get him to say a certain thing last week, questioning him about David, and she was trying to get something out of him, and he was like, I'm not understanding why we're having this conversation. Like, what is it? What is your issue? And you know what I'm saying? So there's something, I don't know. We'll get back to her. Okay, I got a few more things and we can wrap it up, y'all. So,
I have one thing.
Okay, go ahead.
My one thing, because we gotta address this if we're gonna address this episode, is the prescription pad. Now, okay, wait a minute. Let's go back.
I'm running this. That's one of my questions. We're gonna get there. Okay? We're gonna get there. Okay. I got this.
I'm gonna stop muting myself. Let me mute myself.
Now you go mute yourself.
He gonna put himself in time.
Somebody else need to mute themselves.
Oh. That's a good point, Shakira. Shakira said maybe because of the lie he told about why they fought to begin with, maybe she got a certain mindset. That's cool. I'm sure we're gonna get back to that because I feel like they gotta give us more to explain this situation. Okay.
I'm voting.
Say that again. You vote what?
Up to that school and cuss her and possibly pop her in the eye. That's something I might do.
Oh, Abby, I am.
Because she's gonna do something crazy.
So before we get to that prescription pad, let's talk a little bit about Glow. Okay, now this was the second good times moment that this episode gave me. We know that she ain't had the right paperwork, she was dealing with bureaucracy, and we all done been there and done that, and it is frustrating as hell. And we done all dealt with quote unquote government workers who got short tempers and long attitudes. Okay, no need to dwell on that. Been there and done that. My second good times moment of this episode was when she went to the meeting and she gave this beautiful, resounding testimony, and she talked about her struggles and the day-to-day struggles, and how I could have given in, and if I was high, I would have just went on and slept with my boss and life would be good. I'd still have my job and I wouldn't even care about it because I'd have been too high and blah 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 blah. And I was like, yes, Glow, yes, go to that meeting, girl, get that thing off your chest, get that strength, yes, say your serenity prayer, yes. And then that hooker done sold the drugs at the end of the meeting. I said, damn. So that's what I meant by, like, every time I thought something good was happening, and don't get me wrong, I understood why she did it. It's survival. She had to do what she had to do. That woman clearly was high, okay? She clearly was tweaking at the meeting. I get that. I get it. But I said, damn, Glow, because you was giving it to him at that meeting, giving it to him. And then she just slid. And then she just slid right on into that woman and slid her them oxycodone and slid that money in her purse. That thing hurt my heart. I ain't gonna lie. That thing hurt my heart. Ebony, we can figure out what's wrong with your phone, boo. But go ahead, boo.
Let me leave and come back and see if that don't fix it.
Okay, because when you talk, it doesn't make that noise. It's only when you're not talking. Are you gonna leave and come back in?
Okay, hold on.
Okay, Deshaun. I mean Ebony.
You know what, you just don't have to. You just don't have to.
I love you.
I love you too. I'll be back.
I'll be back. So what you thinking, boo? My Volvo said Abby sending out the Morse code. Y'all wrong. Go ahead though. Have you unmuted yourself?
I have.
Okay, now go ahead. What you think?
I really didn't feature Glow a lot in this episode. I mean, it was what it was. I felt like she did what she had to do. I really wasn't that upset with Glow because I really didn't feature Glow like that this episode. To me, the episode was not about Glow. It really wasn't. That was a part of the episode, but it wasn't one of the portions that I fixated on.
Right.
Girl, you go. I was like the lady, the rent lady. I was like, girl, you go up here giving us all this sad story. Girl, we all up in here going through. We all poor. And I was like,
that scene was funny to me because you looking at her and in her face, you like, oh, she feeling sorry for her. Oh, she bought, and she said, girl, we all poor.
Okay. And I felt the same way about when she was giving this long speech at the Narcotics Anonymous. Girl, we all over here struggling. Bitch, you ain't the only one over here struggling over here. We all going through.
The meeting is the place to have those conversations, not with your rent lady. I'm saying that rent lady done took that money. She done took that thing down to the casino and play her numbers with that thing.
Listen, they down in Homestead, so it don't take her too long to get over to the Miccosukee Reservation and play bingo at the Miccosukee Indian Reservation Casino over there. You know, if you're from Miami, you know what I'm talking about.
Hard Rock or Cherokee, right? Because I'll go
to Hard Rock.
The Hard Rock.
The Hard Rock is the Seminole Indians.
Seminole, that's right. You're right. No, you're right. I mean, I know you're right. But yeah, because when I go to Miami, I mean, it's in the outskirts. It's not in Miami proper. It's closer to Fort Lauderdale. But I go to
the Hard Rock is in Broward County, like closer to Fort Lauderdale.
Now the Mattress King, and I'm gonna hope that I said it right, is Mattress. I'm just gonna go ahead. And I agree with you. I agree with you, Mattress King. I absolutely agree with you that she did what she had to do. That's why I said I understood why she did it, but it hurt me. It hurt. It did. It hurt me. Palm Beach, little baby said Palm Beach. It hurt me.
Palm Beach is not what Hard Rock is, little baby. Hard Rock is in Broward County.
Don't come for little baby. Don't you come?
It's in Broward County. Now you talking to somebody born and raised in the county of Dade. You can't tell me about Hard Rock.
Now you know I will mute you. You can fuss all you want. You're not coming for L Baby, okay? That's my book. And she's from Florida too. All right. Oh, little baby said, excuse me. Hey, Ebony, you back, boo?
I'm back. Can you still hear me?
You can't tell me about Hard Rock because I know all about where it's from.
Oh, we still on the Hard Rock? Okay, bless the Lord.
Tell me about Hard Rock. Tell me what's going on.
Oh, what happened? Oh, I done took him off the screen. Did I take him off the screen? What happened?
Did you time him out? What happened? I don't know. It might be Spectrum fucking with him. I
don't know. In my QB voice, what had happened? What had happened?
Who Deshaun now? Huh?
Okay, Mattress King.
Y'all see what I got to deal with? Do y'all see what I got to deal with? I'm the only XY chromosome. I'm the only one adding a Y chromosome to this whole panel.
She's been through a lot.
She has been through a lot.
Do y'all see how they do it?
The only rock I know is the Rock of Ages. L Teddy. That's all I know.
Not the Rock of Ages. Okay.
Come on.
Little baby said that's what you get. But Ebony, what do you think about that? We were talking about when you went out and came back in. We were talking about that moment where Glow had to make.
But wait a minute, ReallyBTV. We got a whole bunch of fact checkers in here. Tell them go fact check Hard Rock Casino and tell me what county it's in.
Are we all muted? What's happening?
No, he's muting himself. He's putting himself in timeout, and that's fine. What I was saying was, what did you feel about? And I understood why she did it, but it hurt me because I really do. I just it hurt me to see that she had to make that decision. I understood it. Don't get me wrong. I would much rather see her sell the drugs than to make some other bad decisions. I mean, don't get me wrong, that wasn't a great decision, but I rather saw her sell them drugs than take them drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But how did that make you feel, that moment? How did that moment make you feel?
My feelings was hurt because I was like, I thought she was going to go over and counsel the little snow bunny. She
I thought so too.
And now she was like, "Hey, girl, you can't wait to meet your man, blase bloom, doody blue." And baby girl said, "She said, Glow, I'm hurting." And she was like, "I got you." And she pulled. I said, "Is she gonna sell this baby to pills?"
They still in the church basement. I'm like, damn, you couldn't even wait till y'all got to the parking lot. You still in the meeting room.
I said, "You selling drugs at the meeting though?" At the meeting.
I mean, if that ain't sacred, I don't know what is. You know, I mean,
girl, you got to get in where you fit in. I was with her, baby. I ain't got time to be waiting to the parking lot because you might be going and somebody else might try and sell you something. Baby, you got to get in where you fit in.
For those of you who look at my Queen Sugar reviews, you know that I shared, you know, that I've dealt with, and I think all of us have on some level in our family, but I used to go to Al-Anon meetings. And if people don't know what Al-Anon is when you have a family member who is in AA or NA, Narcotics Anonymous, and it's your support group to help support them kind of thing. And so, you know, those meetings, there's a certain sacredness of those meetings. And I just, like I said, I get how desperate she was. Don't get me wrong. I get it. Like, if it's a choice between my family being on the street or me selling these 3 little oxy pills that I didn't even want, I ain't mad at her. It just hurt. It just hurt me to see it.
Right. I was just happy she sold them and didn't take them.
Okay, little baby said it's a meeting of addicts. That's the best way to get clients. Okay. All right.
Wow. So you gonna pray upon your brothers and sisters while you trying to get ahead? Okay.
Yeah, my brothers and my sisters, I don't remember them in my house.
This whole episode was about choices, and sometimes I'm a big believer in self-preservation. You got to choose you.
Yep. Well, speaking of choices, now we're at the end of the episode, and we see where David made that choice, which was again one of my good times moments, because I said, that's right, David, you know you struggling, you feel yourself spiraling. You said, I want to go to the doctor. Mama, call the doctor so I can go for some more sessions. And I was like, yes, David, yes. And then I realized it was a comment, that he was just trying to get to that damn prescription pad. It hurt my feelings. So again, you're right. This whole episode was about choices, and we hear Sky continuously telling David about these choices, and once you make that choice, you can't go back. And we see how Sky sort of fades away at the end once David makes that decision. Do we think Sky is gone for good? Is Sky gone? Because we saw how he faded away when David went to go meet up with the Kool-Aid dreadlock boy.
I'm gonna need you to stop calling him Kool-Aid dreadlock, and that young man has today.
I don't think he's gone for good because clearly David has I'm trying to get this angle right because now I'm holding my phone because I'm charging it at the same time. But David has this very strong sense of self-preservation. Hence him, I guess, choosing to do what he got to do to make sure that him and his mama and his brother is all right.
Right.
But with that strong sense of self-preservation, Sky will still be there trying to get him to make different decisions.
What you think?
Which means David knows he doesn't want to do this.
Well, we know he doesn't want to do it. I mean, he definitely doesn't want to do it. What you think, El Teddy, is Sky gone, or is that just that fading through was just that symbolic of him making that choosing that decision, making that decision?
I think it was symbolic of him making that choice, because when he faded away and there was this cloud of smoke, who emerged out of the smoke?
I can't hear anything El Teddy is saying.
Oh, I can hear him.
You ain't trying to hear me. You ain't trying to hear me. Okay.
I feel like that's real attitude or whatever he's saying, Jesus.
She ain't trying to hear me. Anyway, when he emerged, who emerged out of the dust and the smoke from Sky was his son, Ray. Meaning I think it was symbolic of a choice. But I'm gonna say this. David had made that choice before then. See, this goes back to great writing. They had set us up and laid foundations for this way back in episode 2. Because going back to episode 1, David knew he had to go see the school psychiatrist. And they made it a point to say that it was a psychiatrist and not the school counselor or a psychologist. And if you know anything about psychiatrists, they're medical doctors. They can write prescriptions.
And remember,
and
I said that about the pad. They made
I'm
a
not done.
Pad.
I ain't done. Now, David also, when he got the prescription drugs from that he took back to the Ville, what did he do? He made it a point to write down what is the name of what they're going to be selling to the people.
Right. He wrote it down.
And so those are the foundations. So I know I got to go see the psychiatrist.
Ebony, he's talking about how they set this up for this moment.
I need to find out what are they selling to the people, because remember, we always wanted to know. Well, why is he writing down
take the whole
what prescription this is? And he wrote it down because he wanted to use that. All of this has been set up. They've been really setting it up. And so for me, what happened was it all made sense when he stole that prescription. And we didn't know he stole the prescription until he did what? He pushed Scott out of the way. And when he pushed Scott out of the way, we got the revelation that he had made his choice. Even before the sky faded away, we saw he had made his choice. And I immediately went back to all of those different times where I was like, they were setting this up. David had, and so I went back even to the argument between the mom. I say, oh, David wasn't deflecting. David wanted to go back for a reason to go back to see the school psychologist. Because remember when he looked at it 2 episodes ago. He looked at that pad 2 episodes ago, and he said,
at the pad 2 episodes ago. But I think had the rent never gone missing, had JG been successful in paying the rent, I think it would have bought a few more weeks. I don't think David would have made that decision. I think that David, not knowing that his mama sold those drugs and made a deal with the landlord with the rental of whoever that lady is for giving him a 2-week window.
Child in the ghetto, we call her the rent lady. The rent lady. But the sad thing with all of that is, and this is where I left off, and me and Ebony just said the same thing. Why you take the whole prescription pad? Dude, how dumb can you be? First of all, it's dumb because, and I know he doesn't know this. He's an 8th grader. I know he doesn't know this, but we as adults know it ain't gonna take them but 2 seconds to figure out who it is because his prescription number is linked to him, and the only connection to the Ville is gonna be David. It ain't gonna be hard to surmise where these bogus scripts came from. And I mean, I know I'm getting too deep and maybe I'm moving a little bit too far ahead, but that's all in my mind. I was thinking was, David, you're going to get caught. So it's going to be so easy for you to get caught, boo. I mean, he ain't going to even go that far because the doctor's going to know immediately where's my prescription. When was the last time I saw it before David came to my office?
Right. It's just not going to be that hard to figure. I remember one time, okay, I'm telling y'all a little bit of my business. I remember one time my cousin, we all got that one family member that when you find out they coming to the cookout, like my mama called me. My mama called me and be like, so-and-so coming to the cookout. You might want to leave your purse in the car. Like everybody got that family member that you really don't want to tell them they can't come, but the phone tree get to working. Now it's a text. Everybody just get the text saying, so-and-so gonna be at, Christmas dinner. So you know to leave your purse in the car. Okay. So that cousin showed up. And this was before we knew to put the red alert out. This was one of the reasons why we knew to put the red alert out. She came to my parents' house for some sort of family dinner, cookout or whatever. And she had gone in my mom's closet. This was back in the day when people wrote checks, right? She had gone in my mom's closet. She had found, you know how they used to send you a box of checks. She had found my mama's check, but she didn't just take a book of checks. What she did was she took a few checks out from in between each checkbook, right? So it didn't look obvious, and my mother didn't realize it. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, my checks are out of sequence, right? It wasn't until the bank called my mama and was like, because back then when people wrote checks, they were pretty sequential, and the bank would call you if your checks were out of sequence. Be like, well, you on check number 1040, and this is check 3010. Like, what's going on? And that's when they called my mama. So I say all that to say, that's how David should have done with the prescription pad. Take a few off, boo. You don't take the whole damn pad. I mean, ma'am.
We as adults who know how to do dirt know that. Him as a child, he don't know that. He just
I know. He in the 8th grade. He don't know. But some things you learn early, because my cousin been a thief for a long time. She learned early. She been a thief for a long time.
Oh, little baby, we sorry you don't have an Uncle Monroe who come to the house, and y'all know stuff come up missing every time he come to the house.
Everybody got that cousin. Little baby says she glad she ain't met that family member yet. You might not have met them, but they there. You got one. Now, I don't know if you've met them or not, but everybody got that family member that we be like, so-and-so coming. You might want to, just leave your person to call. My mother say, so-and-so gonna be there, so she don't never want to say it. My mother's so sweet. She'll be like, so I'm like, yeah, mama, I know.
You be like,
right. It's like she still don't want to be mean about it. But okay, so predictions. We're going to wrap this up. I didn't look at the previews for next week, but I'm gonna start with El Teddy and I'll end with Ebony. Predictions, El Teddy.
I think Sarin is going to let David know that he likes him. And I don't think that Ray is going to let David know verbally, but I think Ray is going to do something where David may not know, but we as the audience is going to know Ray likes David, which slides into the realm of pedophilia, which is a whole nother situation.
I got nothing.
But I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay, you said, Ebony, you got nothing. You don't have any prediction?
No, I just didn't hear what El Teddy said. I didn't hear.
Well, that's what I was asking. Could you hear him? He said that he thinks that Sarin. Say it again. I want to make sure because Ebony can't hear.
I think that Sarin is going to profess to David that he likes him.
Sarin is going to profess.
Ray is not going to say it, but Ray's going to do something that makes the audience know that he likes David.
So Sarin is going to confess his feelings to David, but Ray, Dreadlock Kool-Aid Boy, is going to he's going to do something.
It's Kool-Aid Dreadlock Boy, not Dreadlock Kool-Aid.
But not necessarily verbalize that he has feelings for David. So David's sort of going to be caught in the middle. Because don't forget, we still got Omarosa over here that like him, So.
And don't forget, David still kind of likes Tara too.
Right. And David,
remember that whole scene in the episode where Tara was dancing.
Exactly. And David still liked Pearl. So we got a lot going on.
First of all, before I give my predictions, I would just like to give a shout out to Tara, aka Pearl, for her little Alvin Ailey dance performance.
Oh yeah, she did that. That dance was beautiful. Oh yeah, Tara was doing that dance.
Thank you.
Tara was doing that dance. You're right. You're right about that. Tara did that. She looked good too. She looked really good.
I think Starry is gonna show up in a way that we are not expecting. And maybe some of these unlikely relationships, because he's been slowly in the background.
Yeah, he's still there.
But I think
he's still there.
But he's still there, and he's still interacting with both David and JG. So I think that would be the most unlikely to come out of nowhere of a relationship. Maybe she got feelings for David. Maybe she got feelings for Tara. I don't know. But there may be something there. There may be some Sarin. I want Sarin to tell somebody. I want him to tell an adult.
I do. I really
want him to tell somebody.
Sarin.
Something.
Yeah. I think because next week I think it's gonna be the episode where they go to church. I'm thinking this. Well, I shouldn't say that because this show it could be the same day again, just from somebody else's point of view. So who knows what it is? But
I think from the previews they're supposed to be at the church
with the pearl era.
Okay. So I don't know. I need Sarin to tell somebody that little boy, that baby breaks my heart. He breaks my heart.
Like I want to go to his house and fight both his parents. Like both of them can get these hands.
Be windmilling all night.
Come on, windmill. Come on,
Dad. I'm gonna bring my purse.
You gonna bring your okay. Bring your purse
for everybody.
There you go. I'm with it. Okay, y'all. Well, look, I'm going to say I got a few things I'm going to say, and I'm going to let y'all give any closing moments. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming through. I saw a couple of new names in the chat that dropped down to participate in the chat, and I thank y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed yourself. There are some content creators. First of all, as always, Teddy27 and Abby Reviews. They both review different shows. Obviously David Makes Man is one of the show we have in common, but Abby Reviews, she does some of the shows that you might not know of, or a lot of people don't review. So if you watch it, like Dragula, a lot of the YouTube shows, what's that other one? Dragula, there's something else it's a Netflix show or something like that. It's not it's another show. But anyway, go check out her channel. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But Abby also does makeup unboxings. So she also does that as well. So if you're into the makeup and different things like that, you can also find that on her channel.
So much money on makeup today. Jesus Christ.
You said what? See, you heard her. She said she spent so much money on makeup. Teddy27 also reviews shows. He does Greenleaf, David Makes Man, and Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. But he also check him out on Sunday mornings. He does a football preview for if you have fantasy teams. He gives you his top picks of the week, so you can get those in. He also does his Thursday night happy hour live and his Saturday morning chats over coffee live. You got to come up with a cute name for your Saturday morning chat.
I thought I stuck with Silly Saturdays.
Silly Saturdays. Okay. So Silly Saturdays. One day we're gonna get Abby to go live. She gonna work her way up to a live. She gonna work her way up to it. But thank you guys for coming through. Thank you, guys. Maybe you can do some of your makeup lives, unboxing lives. I don't know, but definitely thank you guys for coming through. Y'all know my regulars in the room, Lil Baby, Dated Nerd, who's also a content creator, dropped in. Vovo the Love was up in the place, who's one of our regulars.
Joyce Simmons, that ain't going nowhere with no Teddy Bridgewater. Although Teddy Bridgewater is built like a tripod with 3 legs. But they ain't going nowhere with Teddy Bridgewater, who's from Miami.
Okay. I have muted. Teddy's muted. Shakira, I want to shout you out, Shakira, because you was giving it to us all night. You was also a fact checker for us, and I appreciate you, girl. You was keeping us together. Sylvia Williams is one of our regulars that come through. Sometimes she be in the bushes, but she be dropping down. And of course, Dami, one of our regulars. I appreciate you. We had a couple of newbies in the house tonight. I'm gonna shout you guys out too. Escapee, Mattress King. Was it somebody else? Malaya. No, you've been on here before, baby. Malaya, ON YouTube. And if I said your name wrong, charge it to my head and not my heart. Shawnette Jewsbury just said she really enjoys our chats. Thank you so much, baby. But I thank you guys for being here with us. I really, really enjoyed it. I love doing my live and interacting with you guys. And I hope everybody has a good weekend. I will see y'all tomorrow morning in Teddy's chat. Y'all come on over, subscribe, and meet us over there. Any last thoughts, Abby Reviews, before I unmute Teddy?
Yeah, Miss Joyce, I did see your comment about my lashes. Thank you so much. They are they're Batty B lashes in the style fuckboy. So yeah, right.
That's what we doing now. Okay,
that's okay. I'm just saying. But hey. I just wanted to let her know that I appreciate the compliment, And those are the lashes that I had on this evening. And yeah, may the Lord watch between me. Oh, is that what? Now unto him that is able.
Okay. Amen. Amen. We started with church. We can end with church.
Teddy in. He in. Oh, Jesus. Come on. Yes.
Ashante. Okay.
Oh.
You got my yellow bow tie.
He called my shot.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I told you I grew up Catholic. That's what you get from me. Ashante. Jacqueline, my bad, Jacqueline. I know you here, girl. You always
Hey, Jacqueline, boo. Hey, girl. Hey, Shondo.
Hey, you work hard for the money, Jacqueline. We get it, boo. We understand. All right, El Teddy. Any final thoughts, boo?
Shouts out, since we're talking David Makes Man. Shouts out to all of the people who not only watch my David Makes Man review, because I have a lot of people who subscribe to my channel only for my David Makes Man review, and they only comment in my David Makes Man review comment section. And shouts out to all of the people who comment in my comment section in David Makes Man, because I learn a lot, they learn a lot, and we get in them comment sections and good. Not argue, but like the old people say about what we saw. And I'm really appreciative. I love as all of us as reviewers, we appreciate your comments. We appreciate when you interact with us, and the fact that you have a lot to say, good, bad, and in between. So we certainly appreciate that. Shouts out to all of those, to Really Be TV for hosting this, for doing this tonight. Shouts out to all of the regulars who are in the room, all of the newbies who are in the room. I'll be live tomorrow. Let's say tomorrow morning. I'm gonna be early tomorrow morning. So let's say 9 o'clock.
But remember, that's your time. Your central time.
9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern, and 7 a.m. if you're on the West Coast. If you're on the West Coast, get over it. Jaded Nerd says we need to take a shot. That's what Jaded Nerd said. I'm just reading the comment.
Are we going, El Teddy, are we going to take a shot to end this? Are we going to close this out on a shot?
You know, I'm always here for the shots.
So, you know. Oh, you're going to take a shot of Pepsi.
Shawnette, they are mean to me. You see how they do me? And I'm the only one who is adding a Y chromosome to this chat, okay?
Oh, Shawnette, don't do that to me. Are we going to do a shot, El Teddy? I'll do it if you do it. All right, let me get myself together.
I'm on the last of my that's probably good for one double shot right there. The last of my summer brew of the moonshine.
My Jack Daniels, but this is Jack Daniels rye. This is not regular Jack Daniels. Daniels. You can't find it. That was a Christmas gift. I mean, not Christmas, a birthday gift. You know, my birthday was a couple of months ago. That was a birthday gift.
I love you, Joyce. I love the Saints simply because y'all have the tripod on y'all team.
What's wrong,
but y'all ain't going nowhere. My 49ers might go, Joyce. My 49ers might go to the Super Bowl. But I don't. If y'all ain't got Drew Brees, Joyce.
Jaded, what you about to take a shot of? Drop it in the chat, Jaded.
You okay?
You gotta go on grandma duty, Abby. You gotta go on grandma duty, baby. Oh, okay. We about to do this shot and be out. I appreciate y'all on a Friday night hanging out with a sister. Catching the JD. Okay. I want that. You know what, L baby? I've had every type. Well, I ain't gonna say every, but I've had most of the Jack Daniels that's on the market. The cinnamon Jack Daniels is more of a liqueur. It's the honey Jack and the cinnamon Jack is a liqueur, and it's really good if you freeze it, and it's good to drink as like an after dinner drink. It's good. It's good.
Come on, after dinner drinks.
Come on, E-Bobo, who stole my Honda?
E-Bobo stole my Honda.
Come on, no, Evangelist Mary L. McCracken. EBB Ashata. If y'all don't know who Evangelist Mary L. McCracken is, Go do a YouTube search for evangelist Mary L. McCracken and get your whole life with her and her speaking in tongues. Okay, Mary L. McCracken.
No, Dami. You know what, Dami? I'm almost tempted to start another live just to talk about that.
Antonio.
Yeah. Because Antonio Brown, no, he got let go because he's an idiot and he raped a woman. But anyway, that's a girl. No, it's not because of that. All right, I know you said you taking a shot of Pompeii olive oil. What?
Jada, how you gonna tell us to take shots? And you taking shots of Pompeii olive oil?
Jada, I know about that Pompeii oil. Yes, that's the blessed oil. When they put it on your forehead.
Oh, he's talking about blessed oil. Oh, okay. Well, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with the blessed oil. Ain't nothing wrong with some blessed oil. Amen. Amen. Hallelujah.
Ain't enough anointing oil to save me.
Okay,
it ain't enough oil to save me, y'all.
What are you about to
wait, no. Wait, hold on. Really be 5 second story. When I was young, right?
If you don't pour that,
me and my brothers never used to get sick. You want to know why? Because my grandmother would take a big ladle out the kitchen. She would take that anointing oil and pour it in that big ladle and go, drink this. That's going to make you feel better. We never got sick because we never wanted to drink that oil. I'm telling you what I know.
My grandmother used to always make us drink aloe vera juice. Ooh. It worked, but ooh. Anyway. All right. But you know, them old folks was on to something. Them old folks, they was on to something. But anyway, you know, them old folks, they used to, right. They used to work, you know, they worked for 50 years and never missed a day of work and all that other stuff because they did that kind of stuff. Anyway, don't get me started on that. Don't get me started. I'm almost tempted to come back and do a second live just to talk about some stuff that's been going on in the news. Because did you hear that Kenya Moore's getting a divorce, honey? Now, that's a whole nother conversation. Okay.
Well, we do that. Marriage wasn't real from. Okay, we're not even.
Okay, yeah, we did. Okay, let's take this shot. All right.
Moore is a whole ass mess. Just a whole ass mess.
Did you pull your shot yet, El Teddy?
Oh, I've been pulled mine. I'm waiting on you.
I've been pulled mine. I'm waiting on you. Jada said he ready. He said he got his vodka. He ready. All right. On the count of 3, drop it in the chat. What you taking a shot of? I don't care if it's water. I don't care if it's Pepsi. I don't care what you drink. Go on, drop it in.
Sprite like Abby.
That's it. All right, y'all. Thank you for another wonderful Friday night, laughing, loving, and having a good conversation about a great show. Bottoms up. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's so good. I'm so thirsty, Jesus. Oh, God.
Do Jesus and do him well. Woo! Praise God.
Cranberry juice. Oh, you wanted us to talk about basketball wives, baby. I'd have to start a new chat because I don't want to spill this into that. Apple cranberry juice. Okay, I like that. That sounds good. Apple cranberry. Yes. Woo, I said the same thing, Jada.
The fact that I'm chasing my shot of moonshine with this.
You've been doing that all day. I'm going to try to get to see Hustlers this weekend, y'all. And if I get to see it, I'm going to do a review for y'all. So I'm going to try to get to see. I thought I was going to go tomorrow morning, but I forgot I got something to do at 1 o'clock. If I have the energy to get up and catch that first like 9 o'clock show. Then
that was my plan. But the way my allergies are set up.
Oh, yeah, allergies are real bad here too. A lot of my students, they've been tearing my tissues up all damn week. I'm going to buy some tissue this week because I think I done went through 3 boxes of tissue this week. Shit.
Right. I'm finna take all of the drugs in a few minutes.
Come on, Mucinex D. Because you got to get the drugs with the D in it. Everything is better.
I love these. Theraflu is honey, that's my go-to, my Theraflu. Anyway, y'all, let's get off this thing. I think Mother is going to do a jam session later on tonight for those of you who are up. And if you don't know who Mother is, it's Spiller Boy TV. Because we are
Mother.
Yes, I don't want to speak for Ebony, but I'll speak for myself and for El Teddy. That is the House of Treasure. Now, Ebony, I don't know if you remember the House of Treasure. I want to speak for you.
I am House of Treasure adjacent.
Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. She
come on, adjacent.
But you know,
and really, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to say this. House of Treasure would never have struggle
Thank you
parents.
for subscribing, Miss Joyce.
Bye.
I appreciate
bye, and bye.
What he saying? What he saying?
I'm not entertaining it. I'm not entertaining it. I'm not.
I gotta watch the replay.
Little baby, if I get up in the morning, little baby, I just gotta get because it's 10:15 now, and I'm wide awake, and I promise you, I'm not going to bed for at least another 2 hours. So if I can get up in the morning, then I'm gonna make it happen.
Shakira, we're gonna be on at 9 a.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern, and 7 p.m. Pacific.
Listen, I done turned the heat on my electric blankets already.
That's 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern.
Okay.
7 a.m. Pacific.
I will see y'all in the morning. El Teddy will probably talk about the Antonio Brown and maybe a few other issues. You know how his brain works. He might be all over the place, but we'll get to it at some point. But good conversation there. I've been reading up on it. So El Teddy, we talked earlier. I had to come home and do some reading, honey. I got a little, I've read up on it a little bit. But anyway, y'all have a good evening. And I will see y'all in the morning. Ebony, thank you again, Boo. El Teddy, thank you again. And I will see y'all in the A of the M. Peace. From the day to the night.